What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Fight Rundown, day 2 of the Christmas calendar. A big one today. We got a legend, the mammoth, the Goliath,
the mammoth,
the
Max.
Beast.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah. What is your? I can't remember. That's it. Gladiator.
From Maximus.
Let's get that a bit closer here, brother.
The film.
Yeah, Max Searby in. God, Fight Rundown legend. But yeah, Max Searby now on the pod. How we doing, Max?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. Really doing
Good. Well, how we're going to start off December is I'm going to read a Christmas cracker joke. It's got to be ranked. S tier being the very best you've ever heard, and then you being
ungraded,
terrible.
Are you a Christmas cracker guy? Do you like ripping a cracker?
Yeah.
Are you undefeated? You know what I mean, look at the size. You can't be losing stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm that one, where you grab it a little bit extra.
Yeah, I used to do that with my, grandma.
I was going to say against your nan.
Give me that. Champion, So today's it gets a bit serious.
Okay.
What do you get? Oh no! Actually, I'm not doing that one. That's too obvious.
Both sex is serious.
Why did Santa have to go to the hospital?
I don't know, like...
He split his sack.
It's a good guess.
That's fire.
It's a good guess. A bit crude for a Christmas cracker.
Dirty-minded individual right here.
That's not the answer. It is because of his poor elf.
Terrible. Oh, health.
Poor elf.
Poor elf.
What are you giving that, Max?
It's S, A, B, C, and then U. You being the worst.
I'm throwing it a D. It just didn't quite pass the GCSEs.
Yeah.
I reckon not far off either.
What I'm saying is it's a bad start to the Christmas cracker.
It is, yeah. Considering we're 2 days in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Max, of course, usually we just go straight into it, but it is Christmas time. So, are you a Christmas guy?
Yeah, I love Christmas. My birthday's 5 days before Christmas, so
it's a good time for you.
Festive time of year for me, so it's good.
Bit of an overload as a kid.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad to be fair. We always made sure, my mum and dad always made sure birthday was birthday and Christmas was Christmas, which was
nice. That's good.
Because they could have very easily gone, this is for your birthday and Christmas, which I would definitely have done.
Yeah.
But no, very lucky. So yeah, no, I like Christmas time.
That's fine. Yeah.
What's a Max Searby Christmas dinner looking like?
So we actually go out for Christmas dinner.
Oh, do you?
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
For as long as I can remember, we always have done. We just at different places in Grimsby. I think last year I went to Abby's Bistro, down
Oh, yeah.
Gate,
Nice. Posh number.
Was it good?
It was lovely. It was really nice. It's nice to have everyone round the table relaxed and not one family member stressing, cooking and making sure everything's on the go. It's nice to go out, sit down, have a meal, then we go back to someone's house and just play games, family games and stuff like that. So it's very relaxed.
That's so good. Yeah. Can't lie, it's the only day my dad cooks in the whole year. And if he does, he'll only do one of the things, like the carrots.
Is he locked in as well, though? Is he like proper?
Oh, yeah.
Like, get out.
Yeah, he's screaming. He's like, it's like the second.
I could imagine that.
He's like, his head's on fire. What about you? Steve Ball's hitting.
Steve Ball's hitting the cob. Is he here?
Yeah,
it's a Lizzie Bowles job.
Lizzie Bowles all day. I think she quite enjoys it though. I do prepare the turkey for her though.
Yeah.
Every year. Yeah. I
can't imagine.
I prefer because she can't deal with all the horrible when you've put your hand up its ass
fist in it,
whatever. Yeah, so I do it for her.
You love it.
Yeah, I volunteer.
Oh no, it's not Christmas, but I'll do it. Just bringing turkeys in for your mum.
It's not. It's Easter.
It's a random Wednesday. I've got a turkey. Do you want me to stuff it? But I mean, where should we start off? Obviously, Max, just tell us a bit about yourself. You're a strongman.
Yeah, so I compete in strongman now. Always played rugby and sports all my life. Short, obviously, I knew Harry from school.
Yeah,
always played.
I didn't know that.
Always played sports and always involved with everything at school you could get involved with sports. I was always putting my name down, or it was swimming or badminton or anything. I'd love to have a go at anything really. We did rowing together, didn't we?
We did.
Rowing.
We did a bit of rowing together.
I didn't even know you knew each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was.
You smoked him.
No. Tom Fable as well. Used to do it a little bit.
Tom.
It's a bit of a power team. That
really
actually.
Sorry, we've got a bit of coffee in the wrong hole.
Actually, at school, that was probably my first kind of thing I was quite good at. I was indoor it sounds so cheesy to say now, indoor national rowing champion 3 years in a row.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It was that was like the first thing that I was actually, I'm all right at that. Like
I
did a lot of sports and I was all right at them, but I was never just good at just one. Do you know what I mean? Because I did some, like I was just like interested in all.
Jack of all trades, really.
Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. And then it turned out I was all right at rowing, but I think that was just because I kind of had a bit of a growth spurt before everyone else.
Yeah.
And kind of just was
hit
a
the
little
old
bit
puberty
bigger.
early.
Yeah, so it was.
Same.
Yeah, that was kind of the first real thing that I was all right at, and then played rugby, played for Grimsby, and played for school. That was really my main hobby. Not the bet. I was all right at school because, like I say, I had that kind of growth spurt before everyone else, so it was quite good. But obviously, when you go to men's rugby, everyone's just big. So I was all right at rugby, but wasn't going to go professional.
What position was you?
I used to play on the wing because I used to be about 13 stone. I don't used to be this. Didn't used to.
Can't imagine that. Can't imagine that.
I am now. I used to be quite fast as well. Actually, I don't think I could run very far now.
I can only envision you running at me right now when I was 12, but you like you are now. It's like my worst fear ever.
But and then from there, I used to go to the gym at school. They used to open the gym up one night a week at Toll Bar, where we used to go.
Yeah.
Mr. Lowe, actually. If you remember Mr. Lowe.
Yeah.
He used to open it up, and he was kind of like the first. Now, you might agree with me on this. This might sound weird for other people, but you know when you first see that first muscular man? Now, I'm not trying to get weird with this.
No, did
you know when you like admire, you think, I want to look like that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gone. No, but people.
Where's the prison break? Where's the prison?
This is our source sound. So carry on.
Yeah.
People, I can't put you on that.
You understand, like you can appreciate.
Honestly, I do.
You know, if you're on holiday and you see a muscly bloke walk down the beach. Think, You look.
Yours was AJ, wasn't it?
I used to cream Francie Joshua. I know what you mean.
You look at them and you think, I don't.
Yeah,
fancy
no,
Mr. Love.
honestly, I agree.
How can I get to something like that? That's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
we've all got
course,
that.
Yeah, of course.
Like you look different from everyone else.
It's like a form of respect sort of thing.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, it's probably could have worded a bit better the way I did. But you
we made that so gay, which is nothing wrong with.
Yeah,
but
nothing wrong with that.
but we did make it so. But yeah.
So he was like kind of the first. But you think, I'd love to be that. And I kind of just got into lifting weights. Obviously, I was a little bit bigger because of kind of had that growth spurt for everyone else. Started going to the gym, and then I think I first started at like Millfields. Did you know the?
Oh yeah, right near the wheat sheaf.
That's the one. My mum used to do the Zumba classes there, and there used to be a little gym on the side. So I used to go in there. Obviously, didn't have a clue what I was doing. Just used to train arms every time I went. I thought that's all you did. And then kind of moved on to your pure gym and things like that, and kind of gradually just worked our way up. And then I'd say it was just before the first lockdown. I'd say I probably did my first strongman comp, which was in Scunthorpe, just a beginner's strongman comp. Nothing crazy. And ended up doing quite well. I can't remember. It came maybe second or third. It was just a beginner's comp.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then kind of just fell in love with it from there. Kind of realised, I'd gone up. I was only, what am I now? 23. So maybe 19, 20 when I did it. Maybe 19, and realised I could keep up with fully grown men then. So it was kind of a bit of an eye opener, thinking, I'm quite good at this.
Yeah.
And I did go down the stint of bodybuilding for a little bit. Got in quite a good shape there, but just didn't enjoy it as I always wanted to go and lift heavyweights at the gym. And if anyone knows, if you know about bodybuilding, you can't do that. It's just all about volume and reps, and you can't always lift heavy. Where I just was obsessed with going to the gym, lifting as much weight as humanly possible every time. Obviously, I didn't know what I was doing, so I used to go in 1 rep max every session, and then get upset when I didn't beat last week.
Yeah,
So then that's when I kind of started training up at Muscle Flex Gym. I trained there for 2 or 3 years. Kind of I had a friend from rugby called Stu who was kind of coaching me through, kind of teaching me the basics. We just worked on squat, bench, deadlift, and then focused on the other stuff afterwards. And then after it started to get a bit more serious, won a few more comps, got a few more comps under my belt. The owner of the gym, Matt Tofton, you must know Matt.
Yeah, no, Matt.
Massive guy.
Yeah.
He's another one of them ones where you walk in and you're like, I stare at him and like...
There's aura, isn't there?
He's an alien.
Yeah.
He's not from this planet.
Yeah.
It's one of them ones, and, he kind of took me under his wing in the sense of, I was only an apprentice, and I was on an apprentice wage back then, and, coaching, it's not cheap.
No,
not when it's the full package. It's a lot of money. So I was very, very fortunate. Him and his wife agreed to help pay for a strongman coach for me because I couldn't afford it at the time, which was like amazing. Yeah. So kind of started working on that kind of strongman actual training rather than just going and lifting weights at the gym. And that's where things really took off then. That's where, you know, the sponsors started to come in and people started to recognise it. And yeah, just been like that from there, really. It's been good.
Yeah. So talking about strongman comps, then is it sort of similar to what a sort of boxing training camp would be like, where you build it up and up and up as it gets closer towards that competition date?
100%. You'd never lift the weights in the competition in training.
Yeah.
You would peak. You would let's say you had the event on the day was a 300 kg deadlift for reps. Let's just say I'd maybe work up to like 270 for reps, and on the day you'd peak maybe like 280. Sorry, then you'd be peaked then for the day. You'd never really touch the event's weights in training. Yeah. You save that for the day. You don't want to. That's just the way you kind of build it up.
How long is sort of training camp?
I'd usually say about 12 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks. You'd focus in on an event. Obviously, there's 2 or 3, maybe even 4 federations of strongman. So there's a lot of competitions throughout the year you can enter, and some just pop up, and you might be 4 weeks away, and you might decide to sign up for one. It's not the best, or you might find out one a year in advance and just completely focus on that, which is the last couple of years it's kind of been a bit of a sporadic like entry into competitions because they've popped up and I've seen them, or I've missed them when they first came out and then I've seen them. So the next year, that's a big focus for me, is to pick 3 solid dates, have 3 solid training camps, if you will, and actually focusing on them rather than being like, oh, I fancy that one, I'll do that one. Yeah. And actually focus on those 3. But yeah, it's very similar to boxing.
So what? It's been a good year for yourself, though, hasn't it? Strongman wise, what was it? Correct me, am I wrong? Is it third in England's strongest man? Was it?
So that was last year. This year hasn't been.
Last year, wow! Time's gone quick, isn't it?
It does fly. So last year I did England's strongest man qualifier. So anyone can try qualify for these competitions. Literally anyone. So you go down to a qualifier. The aims at those, you want to be top 3, top 2, and they go through. But that was just to go to the qualifier was a big step for me. I ended up doing okay. Came second at the qualifier and ended up qualifying for England's. Then obviously had a great day at England's. One of the best performances I've put out, I think.
Definitely,
and that's because, like I've said before, and other people have asked, I just put no pressure on myself. The aim was to not come last. So walking out, you're in front of thousands of people, there's fireworks going off and everyone's, cheering. If I had put that pressure on me to like do well, then I would have been in a lot more, because I do worry. I do get quite bad on comp days, just nervous.
Yeah.
You're only human, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be human if you didn't. So
absolutely.
I think that, like I say, that lack of pressure I put on myself and just enjoy yourself, don't come last, end up coming third, which was massive. Beating the current UK strongest man, he came 4th that year, so it was brilliant. It was a really good year. And 2 weeks, so either 2 weeks after or 2 weeks prior, I set a new under 23, so that's classed as juniors, deadlift world record. So it was within the space of a month. It was like a lot to take in. It was brilliant. It was a real good year last year. So this year, not too much has gone on this year, as in actual competition wins. Yeah. But, being picked up by Beast Farm for one. And working with Eddie Hall, and, just being able to just have his number in your phone and speaking to him. It's so surreal for what I would have ever believed 3 years ago where I would be now. And having actual paid sponsorships and people reaching out and wanting to make videos and people wanting to talk to, just like yourselves, people wanting to. So why me? Why do they want to speak to me?
Yeah.
I just go to the gym and just train and enjoy it. And people, when you think people want to speak to you, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a very strange feeling as well. You think, why me?
Yeah.
Why would they want to speak to me? I just go to the gym and train. But then kind of knocks that thing into you. Oh, you are doing quite well, actually. You are doing well. It does remind you of how far you've come. So no, I appreciate everyone whoever messages me or speaks to me in that kind of way, because it kind of brings me back and makes me think, oh yeah, you have actually done quite well.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. So you mentioned Eddie Hall there. I mean, probably like for me, as someone who knows nothing about strongman and obviously kind of knowing yourself, it's like, God, that guy knows Eddie, so he must be legit. Yeah, I mean, was that moment so surreal when obviously you was kind of working with Beast and linking in, and then to the point where you are very close with him, getting training sessions in?
It was ridiculous. So how it all came about was he came to watch my deadlift world record.
Okay, yeah.
And we got chatting there, and I was promised as kind of a bit of like a reward for me, is if I pulled a world record at this show, then they would sponsor me. That was kind of my little incentive, and it was a very nice offer from them.
Yeah,
and it really pushed me on. So obviously that was how our kind of connection started in that sense. And then, I was, I was promoting the brand and this, that, and the other, but we hadn't really had much interaction with Eddie himself. And then one day I was just at work and he rang me, rang my number, and I was like, "This is
he's the GOAT for me. He's the GOAT. You know what I mean? Name value.
This was like I was like, he was like, oh, it's Eddie. And I went, Eddie? You went, Eddie? I went, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I was like looking around the workshop looking for people like, on their phone, or like trying to play with me. And it genuinely was him, and he was like, oh, do you fancy coming down tomorrow to Stoke and train, and we're going to film a YouTube video?
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, like I said, straight away. I was and I was like, I can't remember if I was at work or not the next day, but I was like, there's no way I can like turn this down.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I think I actually went to my boss and said, can I put a holiday in? Because I can't. For me, I can't miss this.
Of course not. No.
So we went down. Me and my girlfriend, we drove down to Stoke straight after work that night. We stayed. It was like all last minute. I was at work on my lunch break trying to book a hotel and
wow.
That's sick.
It's exciting.
Get my girlfriend to go to mine and get all my stuff and get everything ready for when I leave work. Because I don't finish work till 6, and it's a fair old drive to Stoke. On a Thursday evening. So we packed up everything. It was like still on the way down there. I was like, what if we just get there and it's just someone having a laugh?
Yeah, I'm a bit like that as well. I know.
Or what if we just don't turn up, or
he cancels,
So we did it, and we stayed over, and then we got to the gym the next morning again, and he was there, and it was like he came up to me and, all right, Max. I was like, he knows my name. You know what I mean? Like, he knows obviously he knows who I am, but it's still like, wow.
Yeah.
And he knew a lot about me, and he obviously showed so much interest and care, off camera just as much as he did on camera.
Yeah.
Which was like, that was the biggest thing for me. It was nothing was
fakeness.
Nothing was staged. Nothing was fake. We stood and chatted for a long time after we'd recorded the video. And obviously that video with Eddie on my Instagram is like one of the most watched. I can't remember how many thousands. Like it's like one of my best viewed videos. I think I benched the 100 kg dumbbells for 6 or 7 reps, which was like, that wasn't like planned or anything. It was just like, do you want to do them? And I was like, yeah, I've never done them before, but we'll give it a go. Yeah. So it was, you can't fail in front of Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
So it was an awesome day, just all around. And from then we just met up a few times since then. They like Beast Farmer. It's not like I speak to mainly three people who work for them, but it's very much on a friendship level. It's great the way we can chat, and then they have a media team who constantly make things for me to post and make videos and send me scripts and all sorts. It's so much help from them to help me.
Yeah.
They only want to see me do well. When people say that, we only just want to see it, but they like show it and more. They obviously clearly mean it, and it's brilliant. And it's the same, same with the other brand and sponsor with Searby, any kind of kit. So they do obviously the sleeves, belts, they do plates, anything to do with the gym really. Whenever I've asked for any piece of kit, we'll send it out. Yeah. It's
what how much confidence has it brought you ever since meeting with Eddie Hall and doing all of these videos with him, and you've got that backing? Is that for you, are you going to take that into your future competitions with, and is that going to give you ultimate confidence to win and do well?
Of course, it's given me a lot more confidence, and you know, I struggle to believe myself I've done well a lot of time. So, like you say, when these moments happen, when these things, when you just really sit back and realise these people are actually interested in you, you know, it's a great confidence booster. But I never want people to mistake my confidence for arrogance, because it's a very fine line. I think when you can get a bit too big-headed, like, you know, I always know there'll be someone better than me. I'm not going to be, you know, there's always going to be someone better than you. But if you're confident, there's no reason why you can't beat them on the day. But I just don't. And there's arrogant people in every sport, isn't there?
Yeah.
And you just, I rather stay away from that kind of image. I just rather be, you know, just humble about it all.
Humble guy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's so interesting, especially like Eddie, someone, I mean, only time I've ever watched The World's Strongest Man was when Eddie was on the climb. You know what I mean? He couldn't do it, and then he did it. You know what I mean? It was so surreal watching. But I watch all his YouTube videos as well. They're actually so fire. Like the ones of Aspinall. Yeah. But what's a day in the life like in terms of food? Of course, you're not eating the regulatory 2,000 calories a day.
No.
It's probably the biggest one I was wondering, because, I mean, is it a clean diet, or do you kind of eat whatever the hell you want?
No, so obviously, so Matt Tofton does my nutrition for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you an exact amount of calories, because I just get told a food and a quantity of and a weight of food of that food to eat.
Right.
So, and it is, I'd say, in the sense of what people would imagine a typical strongman diet is very clean. You know, there's a lot of it, a lot of food. So, say in the morning, there's eggs, bagels, there's a lot of beef, a lot of egg noodles, chicken, rice, potatoes, carbs. You know, it's not like 4 cheesecakes and a whole
ice
chicken.
cream.
Yeah. You know, well, I do enjoy a cheesecake every now and again, but you know, it's not like that. 18 chickens blended up in a blender and 4 cheesecakes and ice cream mixed in there, and you don't need that. Strongman's moving away from that now. You know,
was it like that?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think there's an illusion of you have to be absolutely like massive, and it's just dead weight nowadays in strongman.
Yeah.
That extra fat's just not needed. You know, and it's been proven by lots of lighter weight athletes. Like, I'm considerably light for a strongman in comparison to, I say, World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
I'd say they've got a good 40, 50 kilos on me. But it's changing. It's no longer a static monsters event. It's there's, you know, you've got to be able to move with a yoke on your back. You've got to be able to pick things up, carry, run, load them onto some kind of apparatus. So it's a lot of fitness. And the biggest thing that hit me, especially when I did my first professional show at England's, is the rate of, like, once you're off, that's it, right, warm up for the next event. Because there's people, it's live.
Intense, yeah.
It's not like you can have an hour between to, like, eat and rest. It's like,
do you not?
Bang, straight off, you're warming up for the next event.
Wow.
After I came off, so I did, one of the events was a yoke walk. It was 400 kg yoke on your back, and you walked 10 metres back. And I remember being in the changing room, actually having some oxygen. I just couldn't get my breath back. And then they came in and said, "Oh, Max, you start warming up for the deadlift for the next event." I was like, "What?" Sorry. As I'm here, I can't even breathe right now. So that was the biggest shock that hit me.
Yeah.
So obviously at these at the grassroots comps, you'll have women, weight class categories, juniors and men all competing on the same day, and usually it'll go women and then the lighter weight classes, and then all for one event, and then it'll be the next event all the way through. So you have ages, and that's kind of what I was used to. Yeah. And then bang, you're like, Jesus Christ, you need a set of lungs. So that's where it's kind of moving away from that now. You know, I'm still not pushing 23 stone, but I think this is kind of an optimum weight where I can still move. I can pick a weight and move with it. Yeah. You know, but I'm still statically quite strong, you know, on deadlift and things like that. So, yeah, it's no longer that. So
breakfast, are you talking how many eggs?
So not no.
Is it like 6?
No, I wouldn't say. I'd say maybe three eggs a day. Nothing crazy. It's.
I'm just
stereotype G.
Yeah, I know. Casual. I'm sorry.
No, it's so for example, my first meal when I get to work will be 250 grams of egg noodles and 250 grams of minced beef. and that is literally that's one meal, and I'll probably have 6 similar meals of like that throughout the day.
Right. Yeah, that's what I've heard. A lot, just little meals, but a lot of them is usually what.
And a lot of it is just carbs and proteins.
Yeah.
You know, and when we want to increase calories, you maybe change the things that you would flavour the beef in, or sauces and things like that. You know, to add in a little bit more, or maybe add in an extra meal at the end of the day.
See, when I was watching did you watch Eddie and Tommy Fury diet swap?
Yeah.
Like in my head, like I thought, friggin' hell, like they were taking. Obviously, Tommy kept up with him, but I was like, the breakfast portion was crazy. Yeah, you know what I mean, it was like 6 slices of toast.
Yeah, of course.
4 or 5 eggs, 2 beans, 2 black. I mean, it was like.
Yeah, would that have been more for the video? You think, or would it have been?
Well, I know back in Eddie's day, Eddie's famous for his crazy diet. And,
and
that's
true.
What you had to kind of stuff to eat, and obviously you'll know yourself, and that you have to be in a calorie surplus to gain muscle. You can't build muscle in a calorie deficit. People may argue that, but it's a lot harder to do.
Yeah,
it's a lot harder to do. So obviously, you do need to be in that, but the extreme of that deficit, and you've got to remember, it's great. You can always see what's going on the outside, but you don't know what's going on the inside. You don't know about your cholesterol and your blood pressure and your HDL and LDL levels and things that are going on inside your body. They're the things you really want to be worried about. You know, the things you can't see. Yeah. And eating foods like that it's not the best way of doing it. Obviously, it works for some people. Yeah. You need to keep a close check on, you know, walking around at 23 stone. Well, as like I say, I'm quite light for a strong man.
Yeah.
You know, walking around at 26, 27 stone all year round. You look good on the outside, and you may be straight. It's what's going on the inside you've got to watch out for as well. So it will catch up with you.
Yeah.
It will catch up with you. Eating all the bad foods. So the cleaner it can be. Obviously, it's a lot more food to eat, but it's a longevity. I'd rather be in the game a lot longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stay healthy and things. So, yeah. So,
excluding someone like Eddie Hall, do you have any other favourite strongman who you like watching? You know, in the World's Strongest Man or whatever.
I do like watching the Stoltman brothers. I think what they have as brothers is great. Is amazing. I've seen them at quite a few expos now and spoken to them and had a chat with them and watched them speak on stage and kind of do speeches. Yeah, very moving and very, you know, the kind of bond they have together is very inspirational. You know, I'd like to have something like that with my little brother. You know, of that kind of bond is great to see.
Is he into weightlifting?
He's more into rugby at the minute.
Yeah,
he's only 15. We did a deadlift competition 2 weeks ago. I made him sign up the night before. I said, just go. It's like it was a teens competition, so it's 19s and under. He was the youngest lad there on the day, but one of the biggest. He's a freak. He'd be bigger than me, 100%.
Wow.
And he probably deadlifted twice in his life. He deadlifted 180 kg for a 15-year-old.
Bloody hell!
He's all lower though. He's massive. He's got the opposite of me. I've got little calves. He's got massive calves.
How does that make you feel, G? Makes me feel a bit shit.
But he doesn't understand that yet. I tried to tell him, I was like, look, if you started making videos and like documenting you going to the gym, I said, 5 years time, I said, you never have to work again.
That's his business, isn't it?
I said, you 15-year-old. But he can't force that on someone when they say.
Of course,
He loves playing his rugby. He just started playing rugby a lot more now, and he's amazing at that just because of the size of him. You know, if he stuck to that, I genuinely believe he could go pro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would never want him. I always say, I'm going to the gym, George. Trying to come along, and he'll come and he'll do a bit, but he's not like intensely into it. But still trying to make him realise his potential. If he did want to do strongman or powerlifting or whatever he wanted, he'd be good just because of the sheer size of him. Really, he's got lucky on the genetic front. I was nowhere near his size when I was his age.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So as for a day in training, say if you're hitting the gym, it's a Tuesday. I'm not sure what your splits are like, but say if you was working, I don't know, a leg day, or you was hitting a deadlift day. What's the process? How are you warming up? I mean, are you trying to hit? Obviously, I'm guessing you don't hit your PBs then, because you say you do them on the day. So, if it's a heavy lifting day, what's the kind of routine for people who don't really lift weights but want to get into that strong?
Yeah, of course. So for me, the way I split things up is obviously I work 2 days on, 2 days off, 12-hour shifts. So it's a long day, and I tend to stay away from trying to train after work. But if I have to, I will. And try to train on days off, when you're fresh and plenty of food in you and everything. But let's say I'll go in for a deadlift session. Depending where you're at, it really in that 12-week prep. Let's say we're 2 weeks out. I'll probably go in, warm up to about 320 kg raw. So raw in strongman terms is just wraps and belt. But in powerlifting that'd be nothing. But in strongman terms, it's kind of, because obviously in strongman you're allowed to wear a deadlift suit. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Full deadlift suit. So that's what I'll be wearing when I compete. So I'd warm up to about 320 raw, then I'd get into a suit. It's a very difficult process.
I think I've seen that actually.
Yeah, very, very tight. A lot of talc going on, and sliding in there, and then I usually will just jump up in a plate aside up until when, let's say 2 weeks out from when I was doing the record. I think my last session was 400 kg for 2 reps, and then that was the session. You don't want to exert yourself more than what you have to.
Yeah.
Especially that close to a competition. Whereas, if I was 12 weeks out, I'd be, even if I wanted to hit, let's say, I'm working towards now hitting 430 kg deadlift. At 12 weeks out, I'd only be deadlifting maybe 200 kg.
Yeah. Right.
I'd start that light, that far out, and I'd maybe be doing 200 kg for 12 reps. The next week I'd come in, I'd do 210 kg for 10 reps. I'd maybe come in the next week. It's a slow, very slow build-up and process. So it really depends where you're at. And then usually after deadlifts, let's say if we were training deadlifts, I usually would squat. I'd do a few leg exercises, some stretching, maybe some tendon and knee like rehabilitation work, and backwards leg drags, and anything that's just going to benefit that whole process of the deadlift. There's a lot. It can be as simple as just going in and lifting it up, but when you really want to push on and progress, there's a lot of fine things you can change, to really build it up and increase it. So yeah, I'd say a session's usually an hour and a half. It's not mental.
No,
it's heavyweight, high intensity, but it's not a lot of reps usually. Especially on deadlift. But then my accessory work, let's say after the deadlift, will be more volume, more reps. Trying to get as much blood to the muscle as possible, and trying to really fatigue the muscle rather than explosive power for the deadlift. So
is there any exercises or machines that you just hate using? You think, fuck's sake, I've got to use this now. Or do you enjoy it all? Is it?
I enjoy it all. I hate I hate having to, if I've had an injury, having to rehab. I hate
boring.
I hate the light stuff. I know it sounds so
strongman alpha male.
Yeah, I know it does, but but now
you just want to get back to where you was, innit?
But the more I do it, the more I learn how important it is to really drop the weight down.
Yeah.
And focus on that volume for a few weeks before you can start building that weight back up. Younger me would fail. I'd go into the gym and just load up the bar as heavy as possible and think, if I don't do this, and I'm a failure.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't be able to do it, and then I'd go back and think, why can't I do it? I did it last week, but it's really not that simple. And that's a big piece of advice I'd give to people who are strength training, or even just going to the gym and lifting weights and trying to change their physique. It's a very, very long process.
100%.
Very long, and it does not happen overnight at all.
Is that the sort of advice you'd give to a young person who's looking to get into the sort of strongman, or just trying to build a good physique themselves?
Yeah, for either of those things. I've dabbled in both, and I'd say, don't get disheartened after that first 4 weeks and you've seen no change. So I assure you, by that 8 weeks point, you will do. And then that's when it becomes addictive. I remember the first time seeing a forearm vein. The first time them little things, and then you just want more, you want more, you want more. And when you do hit those milestones, it is rewarding, very rewarding. That feeling, it's hard to describe to people who, like when I try to describe it to my mum, she's like, she just doesn't get it. Lifting, not that she doesn't she supports me 1,000%, and and gets that my love for the sport. But people, why would you want to do a 12-hour shift at work and go to the gym and lift heavy weights after?
My mum's like that.
But it's
God's sake.
It's like that absolute, when you've been working so hard.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I could bottle up the feelings I had after that world record, it'd be priceless to me. If I could relive those 10 seconds after that feeling after, it's just incredible. And when you've been working, when you get PB in the gym, it's an amazing feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can't beat it, can you?
The adrenaline and the serotonin, that's the addictive feeling for me. It's building, it's getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
And yeah, just that is my advice. It doesn't. I was very much, when I started, you get frustrated when you don't see results. You think, I'm doing all the right things, and why isn't it coming to me? And we're now 5 years on, and when I first went to the gym, I deadlifted 170 or something like that, and now we're up to 400 plus, and it's took me 3-4 years to get there, but now I wouldn't change that journey or that for the world. And I've learned so much from having to be patient. It passes on to lots of other things in life.
Of course.
I think if you can be very structured and regimented with the gym, you can pass on to a lot of other things in life.
For sure.
And a lot of things you learn from the gym, and like you say, very much the patience and not expecting things like that. It helps you to, save money, helps you to save up for things you want, because you understand that waiting progress, and at the end, that's the goal, and it's going to come, but you just got to keep grafting and keep working.
For sure. You mentioned a tiny bit there on your recovery.
Yeah.
So, do you take a lot of, obviously, kind of, I don't know if you do certain supplements such as like creatine? Obviously, you probably are you do big on protein powder or magnesium? And are you into your like cold baths and sauna maybe for recovery, or what do you obviously go for protein wise? You got a favourite flavour?
Yeah.
And what sort of recovery are you into?
So of course, obviously sponsored by a supplement brand.
Of course, legendary.
A lot of great supplements.
Discount code
Max.
Sick, get on it.
Can't forget that one. So obviously whey protein, massive one. That's fundamental, and anyone who's trying to go to gym and build a physique and everything like that. And for anyone kind of starting off, mine's a little bit different, but for anyone starting off, if you can aim for about 2.2 grams per kg in body weight, that's kind of where you want to be at as taking. However, that doesn't mean take 8 protein shakes a day. And maybe say 2 maximum at a push. I'd rather, if you can eat those proteins through like
real
foods, like it's still real protein, but your body will thank you a lot more, for eating via actual food rather than drinking a synthetic protein whey. Not synthetic, but you know what I mean, like a whey
powdered sauce.
Of course. But like I said, I probably only have two a day of those myself, and I take sleep supplements, which is heavy in magnesium, like you were speaking about before. Obviously, the brand that I work for do a sleep product, and it's the 1%. It's wherever you can gain something, 1%, and it soon adds up. I remember I used to sleep with a sleep apnea machine.
Oh, uncomfortable from what I've heard.
I tell you what, not too bad.
No?
Not too bad. Mainly it was
after 12-hour shift though.
Yeah,
you're knocking out.
Mainly not because I had sleep apnea, it's because I snored so loud because of my weight. It was keeping my mum up.
Right.
Keeping my mum and dad up at night. And I'm upstairs and they're downstairs and they can still hear me. So I used to wear that, and I remember when I remember trying to get one before through the NHS, and obviously I went to the NHS and said, I'm struggling to sleep. I played it on a bit. So I'm waking up in my sleep because they're not cheap to buy. And they said, we'll put you on a weight loss program and you can come back in 6 months' time. And I was like, you're all right. So I just went online because you can't buy them in the UK. I don't know what the rule is or what is. You have to get them from America or find someone that's already got one in the UK.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying one. I remember when I was speaking to the guy I was buying it off, he said that he sells to people like Olympic athletes at the top of their game and marathon runners and people like that. The people you wouldn't expect to be on a sleep apnea machine.
Yeah.
But that is simply that reason. If they can get 1% better sleep, and maybe a 1% better in training and maybe a little bit 1% in nutrition, the Olympic Games are that kind of standard. That 1% may be the difference between first and second.
Yeah.
So people like Mo Farah and people like long distance runners will sleep apnea.
I didn't know that.
Getting that edge.
It helps you. I don't know the full science behind it. I could be talking out my ass, but I think it helps you get into that. Is it REM, like rapid eye movement? That deeper sleep.
Yeah.
Helps you get into that a lot faster. So when you're asleep, you're not always in that
deep sleep. Yeah.
I know you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I slept 10 hours last night, but I'm still tired." And that's where these like sleep supplements and increased magnesium in bed and trying to avoid certain foods in the day may really make a big benefit when you.
I say everyone says they had 10 hours, but personally, I'm a big sleep tracker. I love tracking my sleep, but then you say, "Oh, damn, I only got 45." That's how much you get. About regular person gets in 10, like 8 hours. You get about half an hour, 45 minutes deep sleep. The rest of it's rapid eye movement. It's like, oh, maybe, and then you feel, it's like, damn, I didn't really hit that sleep. Yeah, I got 8 hours sleep, but it wasn't quite. Yeah, and then favorite protein flavor.
Chocolate brownie.
Chocolate.
Anything chocolate.
Is the Beast Farm chocolate one the one?
Yeah, and I'm. There's always that debate: is do you mix your protein shakes with water or milk?
Oh yeah.
Would you have one?
I always did water, but only because I didn't want to waste the milk because I weren't paying for it. So.
Right.
But I'd probably pick a milk. To be fair.
Do you know what I mean? I find that like a chocolate protein powder with water, like a watered down.
Criminal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You want the milk.
You want the milk. But I don't know if you had something like a different, like a watermelon flavour or something like that. It'd be fine with water.
It depends on the flavour. Then
you're a whole milk guy.
Semi-skimmed.
Semi-skims.
I'm a semi-skim guy too.
Everyone's semi-skimmed.
It's just easy. It's just
whole milk that hits different in a coffee.
Yeah.
That was whole milk.
Yeah.
You what? do you do coffee? Are you big in your caffeine before training?
Not hot drinks. I'll take a pre-workout. I'll take if I really need it.
Get you fired up.
For many years, I never really used a pre-workout. Not because. I'll tell you why. It's a very simple reason. I don't like a lot of flavors.
Yeah.
I'm not a picky eater, but I don't like cherry flavors or berry flavors or anything like that.
The unnatural ones that taste fake.
The majority of flavors in like pre-workouts, like
blue raspberry
And I'm not a big fan, and I don't like sweets either. I've never been a big fan of sweets, and a lot of them are sweet flavors and things like that, and I never really got on. So the main one I do take is just a lemon. It's lemon sherbet. It doesn't taste like. It just tastes like lemon.
Yeah.
From Beast Farm, just the stim pre-workout. So that just tastes like lemony water, if anything.
Do you ever do any this before like a big deadlift with the smelling salts?
Smelling salts, got all the smell. Yeah, got the smelling salts.
Yeah.
They.
How much do they actually help lift a big weight? Is it?
I'd say. It's more like have you used smelling salts before?
I've never used one. No.
I have.
Have you?
Bought it for her. Just trolling. Yeah.
Really? Do you just use it just to?
Yeah, well, I just brought it because it's like pointing it in my little brother's face. Like, smell that, it smells good. Yeah.
Smell this.
I thought I'd give you a go of mine. No. Well, they used to do it in the corner. It got banned. Do you know, like people got knocked down and they go back to the corner. They used to shove it.
That was where it originally, I think it started off from. Back in Victorian days, women used to wear corsets.
Yeah.
Always fainting. And that was a big thing. They used to just hover smelling salts to bring them back
round.
Wow.
So obviously it'd be seen. They didn't want to take it off or undo it, and it allowed them to get tighter. They would just hover that under the nose and kind of perk them up. And it is that. I don't know now if it's become a stimulus and response thing. I know if I smell that right, I'm going to lift heavy. And that kind of activates
something in the brain.
It's like the neurons get fired up.
Prepare to lift. Yeah.
I think it's more that sense of, obviously there'll be some study and it does something to you. But for me, I would never use that in a training session, really. I'd mainly use it on comp days.
Yeah.
And it's that thing, that
go time.
More of a mental preparation.
That purge alarm, it's like you're going now.
That alarm's going, right, now we're going, now we're into this. So, I do think they do. Even if they're actually not physically doing anything, psychologically, mentally, I do think they benefit. They do help. Definitely.
What are your thoughts on kind of obviously on the TikTok scene? You got like the Dave Trains guy. Are you familiar with all that? And are you a big fan of the way would you class that as? Well, I guess it's not really strongman, but it's not also bodylifting. They're just like big gym guys, aren't they? It's a big community now. I feel like they've grown. obviously that area of going gym.
There's a lot of people on there who, you know, who I will watch. If their videos come up, I do watch. And then you think, you see them, they're driving around in McLarens and you know, they've got their own houses, and you think they're literally benching 100 kg.
Yeah.
And you're like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't film. I don't film nowhere near enough, and that's probably a New Year's resolution for me, is to try to film a lot more content, because at the end of the day, there is a lot of money to be made in that kind of thing. And you know, they're like, there's people creaming in the comments over 100 kg bench. I'm not belittling that one bit.
Yeah.
Not one bit. I'm not trying to say it like that. And it's like, you know, it really makes me think, maybe I should film a little bit more, if that's what people...
You're a natural talker, to be fair, Max.
Yeah, to be fair.
You're a good talker, so maybe...
Gladiator pod. A lot of them are... I know people like James Beardwell, you know, them sort of like eye candy sort of ones. That's more
that's what it is, isn't it?
I'm more a face for radio.
So are we.
Not quite, you know... I think I'd have an all male audience if I was to, apart from my girlfriend and my mum and my grandma.
That's about us as well, that's why we've got the podcast and nothing else.
Well, no, generally, I do enjoy watching that, and you do learn bits and bobs off of TikTok. Obviously, this kind of sport and weightlifting and powerlifting is very is always subjective. Like everyone's got their own kind of thing that works for them. You know, when people say, I'd have people message me saying, send me a bench session, or what should I train for bench? And I kind of almost want to say, you know, there's no point in me telling you how I train for bench, because 9 times out of 10, I don't think it would work for you.
Yeah.
You know, and what do you eat? And I'm like, well...
Subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like if, you know, there's people, let's just say, I don't know, if I was the same weight as someone and the same height, and we did exactly the same reps and ate the same thing in the gym, gram for gram, we had the same sleep, minute for minute, unfortunately, due to just life, I would be bigger than them, I think, just through genetics. So there's no point in, and that's not me being big-headed or vain in any way.
Of course not.
No. It's just it's just science.
It's in you,
it's just science, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's why I tend to stay away from... Well, I obviously give people suggestions and try to help people out when I can. Like I say, my training, is very specific to me and what I need to improve on. So whenever anyone asks, and I kind of go, I'm not being blunt, or there's no secret I'm hiding away that I don't want to tell. Yeah. But it's very specific to me and what I need to work on for me to improve. Whereas they might just need to go right back to the basics and work on something totally different. So it's very subjective, but that's what I'd say, really. But there is a lot of negative stuff on TikTok as well.
Definitely, you know, the Jack's Fitness stuff. Do you think that's bad for weightlifting, or do you think it's...
Well, it's a strange one for me, because I don't really watch too much about that Jack's Fitness.
No, neither do I.
My girlfriend's little brother, he sends me a lot of like funny videos about him. I kind of grasp what it's about. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, I kind of think that puts other people who are built like him and maybe want to start the gym may turn them away from starting.
That's a good point.
Because he's not really. He's a face of the beginner, the novice.
The hate he gets in the comments. Yeah. You know, that is where people start. How would you expect someone to get better if they never start? That's what people look like when they start. You know, I'm 2 and 4 on both sides of it, because then again I think, how is he that famous?
Yeah, and how's he not put any?
I think it's a lot of it's the rage bait now, isn't it? Like
it is, of course. And at the same time, I have that feeling of he's just trying. Maybe he genuinely is just trying and not getting anywhere, and needs someone to help him out. And I do feel bad, because no one deserves to have you know, the things said about you online. It's awful.
Yeah, that's true.
It's awful. You know, when you read something about yourself. I remember reading through the comments on the Eddie Hall YouTube video.
Yeah.
You know, when you're not used to that, God, that was the first time.
Oh my God.
You know, there was some hate on there, and you know, people saying certain things, and you know.
How'd you deal with that? Just ignore it, or did it get to you?
Yeah. No, I expected it.
Yeah.
And he kind of had a chat with me and said, you know, when this goes live, you know, people will say, people are jealous, people will say nasty things, people will comment on your appearance, people comment on this, that, and other. You know, my girlfriend was you saw her legs in the video, and there's people tagging the time of her legs in the video, saying very crude things about her in the comments. And
me and Balls have dealt with a bit of racism.
TikTok Live. Jeeve gets racist comments when he was on. He's done one live video and he's got so much racist comments.
It banged.
I had this weird guy. He commented on it. He was like, "Oh, can you sniff your hand and tell me how it smells?"
Yeah, that was
weird.
Like,
what the fuck? Yeah. And then you get the all of the time. You know,
is funny,
people
though.
saying like, "Oh, yeah, you're doing my head in now," or "You're, I think I'd choke you out in a couple of rounds." It's just
all Balls did was when Joshua lost, put like, "Oh, this guy would be a good matchup." He's getting death threats.
Yeah.
I was getting called a monkey because I wasn't showing the pay-per-view. Mate, you're broke. You know what I mean? It's just like
buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was like, "Oh, show the pay-per-view." I was like, "Nah, I can't. I'll get banned." He was like, "Monkey, show it now." I was like, "What the?"
It's so like 0 to 100.
Yeah, it actually is.
Straight away. No, there's nothing nothing bad on it. Everyone gets, you get called names when you're younger, and I kind of got over that. I think when I was younger, at Toll Bar, pardon me, there was like, I still remember very, very, when things have been, when you're younger, they
stick with you,
very strongly. I remember I was I must have been year 10. So you must have been year 9 at the time.
Year 9 at the time, yeah.
And I remember I made a fitness account on Instagram. Like people do. Like it was like I wanted to document a bit of me going to gym, because I started going to gym a bit more. And I posted a picture side by side of when I started and where I am now. And after about 20 minutes, I deleted the account. Because you think, I regretted it. I was like, maybe, you just think, maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Thought nothing of it. About 2 hours later, there was a girl, I won't mention her name, who was in my year at school, who I sat next to, and she was kind of pally with the year 11s. Not all the girls are often friends year above. She messaged me saying, just being nice, just to let you know, Max. Obviously, because I didn't follow anyone in the year above. Probably followed about 10 people on Instagram at the time. So just to let you know, this is what's been posted. This so-and-so's posted this. Just thought I'd let you know because you won't see it. And it was a person in the year above. I say, I'm not going to mention their name now because it's all water under the bridge, but they'd made an edit of it, edited their face on one of the pictures and put it on their Instagram. And they had a lot more following, and they were a bit more popular at school, and I had a lot of people laughing and commenting in the comments, and it was it was me, and a picture of me in the bathroom, and it was just a topless picture, just showing transformation of what I'd come from, and that broke me, seeing that. Absolutely, I didn't go to school the next day because I was like that worried about what people would say, and when I did go in, people teased me. I remember being teased quite badly for it until. Some people did stick up for me and just tell them to leave it. And it did get deleted. And, that always sticks with me now. I always have, that stuck with me. But that also taught me a lot of things, just to be, don't let things bother. Always someone's going to be... Someone's always going to take the mix. Someone's always going to be jealous. You're not going to please everyone. So you just got to just move on.
Such an unforgiving place.
Probably your biggest fans now, probably the ones watching every move, I'll tell
you a story. If they do listen... I know exactly who they are because it was quite embarrassing for them, really. I was in town maybe 2 years ago now, and came up to me in town, and he said to me, "I'm really, really sorry about when we used to tease you at school. I could really admire what you've done now, and if you could give me some tips and things like that for gym." And I was like dying on the inside. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I didn't expect it.
And then I was out in Cleethorpes once, and it was a group of lads. There was a group of them. They know who they are. And one came up to me and was like, "Oh, can I buy you a drink? I feel ever so bad for it." Once I started doing well.
Yeah.
"Oh, can I buy you a drink? Oh, sorry for what we used to do to you at school." And I'm like, I'm dying of cringe on the inside.
Yeah.
I don't really care anymore. Mate.
It's all too common though, isn't it? It happens.
Same
all
with
the
me
time.
and Balls. The same people, we had people behind your back, you hear about it. The amount of just shade was like, these guys sitting in front of the camera for who? We're not big we're not big by any means, but we're just grinding. You know what I mean? The same with you. It was just the beginning of your journey.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And if they want to belittle you about that, just shows you how insecure they are.
Yeah,
they don't have the confidence to start something or try something new or do something in that sense. So that'd be a big piece of advice for me to anyone, and you probably agree with it. If you want to do something, just do it.
Yeah.
Life's too short to bother about what people... Yeah. Anyone can sit on a phone and type what they want on social media, but I bet you 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't dare say a thing to your face. So you just got to get on with it, enjoy what you're doing. If it makes you happy, literally just do it.
And 90% of people are positive anyway. It's only a small minority of people
it's
who...
the 1 out of 1,000. Like, how many views is that Eddie Hall video getting? You see that one comment, you're like, and it's the only one
Everyone
you're
always focuses on it.
Like,
bothered about.
Of course.
I bet you didn't. You weren't thinking about the one that said, "Oh, that guy's jacked. What's his name?" Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was that as well.
They fade when you see one, and you focus on.
Of course,
Why are they saying? Like, why are they saying that? Like, makes you double guess. Like, you as a If you what have I done to make you say that?
Yeah.
Like, what is the need?
But the hardest bit is when you're doing it for no one and you're getting hate, like you was at the beginning. And so was we. I mean, it's like you're not even getting any positive.
It's like double.
Yeah,
100%.
But to push through that, like you say, just no one's bothered. No one's genuinely that bothered.
Everybody is too focused on their own lives. For anyone who's looking to try something new, try something different, worried about what other people think. Everybody's worried about how themselves look to other people themselves. They're not bothered about you in the nicest way.
They're only bringing you down to bring themselves up.
Of course.
There's no other reason than... This is what I was trying to explain to my little brother. I said to him, why don't we... we'll go to the gym, we'll do a training session. You know, we can nearly bench 100 kg. And I went, that'd do, I'll film you. We don't have to do any speaking. Maybe put some music over it. You don't have to do any speaking. And we'll just film a few videos and you pop it on your Instagram and your TikTok. And he was like, oh, no, everyone will take the mick out of me at school. I went, take the mick out of you for school? For what? Lifting 100
For lifting weights?
Yeah, for lifting. I couldn't get it in my head.
Yeah.
I was like, what? For like lifting weights?
My little brother's the same. My little brother's the same age as your little brother.
Why would you not just... you know what I mean? And obviously I never forced him to do anything. I was like, yeah, that's all right. That's fine. Maybe in a year's time. But I couldn't get that in my head. I just wanted to say to him, I was like, no one's going to take the mick. And I said, if they're taking the mick, you're not your friends, so you don't want to be friends with them anyway. So just do it. Just honestly, just do it. And that goes with anything, whether it be trying the new sport, trying the new hobby, setting up a podcast, anything.
Of course, yeah.
Always, you can't be so...
gun shy, I'd say. Just do it. Just go and do it. You know what I mean?
You can't believe for the whole of your life everyone's going to be nice and everyone's going to be support you, because that's just not how the world works. If you can go in expecting that, it makes the ride so much easier.
Yeah, and without being too deep on it, it's that deathbed, isn't it? Thinking on deathbed on what you could have done in your life, but you didn't because you were too scared of what other people think.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot.
We all end up the same.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, I wish I'd done if I had the confidence I have now. I've never been the most confident of people anyway, but I look back and think, if I had just done that, if I had just said that one thing, when you've had someone's upset you or someone said something to you, and in the shower that night you come up with like
that happens all the time.
Wish God, I wish I'd said that. But the time would have gone, sorry.
Yeah.
No.
That's the one. I mean, hate is just too common these days, but just firm it. Anything else, Paul?
I was just going to say, of course, we are mostly a combat sports pod.
Yeah.
Are you into boxing, UFC? Do you watch the big fights? Do you watch it religiously?
Any favourite fighters?
Yeah, I do. I always watch TikTok clips when they come up, because fighting, there's something about, when you see these crazy knockouts, it does just draw you in. It also makes you think, bloody hell, like, that must have hurt, and stuff like that. And, quite a few of the guys who I work with are into... we work nights, so most of the time, if they can, they'll watch the fights, because obviously they're late at night, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
I'm I don't know much about fighting at all, really, but I know the big names, and I'll watch them if they're on, or I can see them and stuff like that. But it does injure. I mean, I actually did boxing for about 2 weeks, and I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter at all.
Right.
I didn't really have it. I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
I've never been in a fight in my whole life. I've never been punched. I've never punched anyone. I'd rather just walk away. Some people might be the complete opposite of that. So even if I look, even if someone, I've had it a few times.
Usually smaller guys as well, might I add.
Of course it is. And they'll come up to you and go, you think, I remember actually a very clear conversation I had with someone in Cleethorpes, I think it was, come up to me drunk, you think you're big and hard because you lift all that weight. And I went, as I said, I don't think I'm hard, but I know I'm big. I said, and he was like, I'd knock you clean out. I went, I'm pretty sure you could, mate, but you know what I mean? I don't know what your problem is. Yeah. I said,
you get that
I've
as well,
never
Balls,
done one thing to ever say that. I'd just say, no, I'm sure a lot of people
nice
would
one,
be in
mate,
a fight. Yeah. I could pick you up and throw you across the bar, but I'm not going to fight you. You know what I mean? It's no, and
there's never a need to throw hands. Yeah, I mean that's my idea of it.
I've been in a few confrontational things where people have been a bit pushy and shovey, and might have given them an accident a little bit one too hard back, and then they come and I'm like, oh, just sorry, mate. It's busy in here. Yeah. So it is what it is. Walk away.
I love that.
Walk away.
Of course.
It's not worth it.
So, any favourite fighters? Anyone that you would say, maybe I'll tune into this one? If the work guys are watching it on your break, maybe I'll put my head in.
I like watching, I don't know, Usyk, am I pronouncing it?
Usyk, yeah.
I like watching him. I like that whole build-up of
the antics
at the minute. Yeah. I like all of it. And I watched recently, when he came into that press conference dressed as agent.
The Hitman.
Yeah, from Hitman. I thought that was cool.
It's cool. Really he holds up the picture of him.
I also liked the way Tyson got involved and, signed it for him, had a laugh, and they can have a joke.
Yeah,
that's
big
nice
respect for that. Yeah.
It's nice to see in boxing. A lot of it goes south, doesn't it? Very in these press conferences. But that was cool to see. And, I won't sit here and pretend I know a lot about fighting because I don't. But yeah, I'll watch the big people.
Be tuning in to what do you think of Tyson Fury? Because he's very much like Marmite. I feel like you either love him or you hate him.
I won't say I have much of an opinion on him. I think obviously he must be a good fighter because obviously of where he is. I think some of the things he says are very funny.
He's a comedian.
His character, isn't he? He's built his career off character as well, not just boxing. I'll tell you what I am very interested in see is that Mike Tyson fight. Jake, I know the whole YouTuber thing. I don't know what your opinion is on that, but I'm just really looking forward to seeing that. Everyone. Even if you don't know boxing, you know who Mike Tyson is.
Of course.
If you've never been interested in fighting, you know
who you got.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I've seen. I don't know anything about fighting, but I've seen him. I think a video got released the other day of him training. For however old that man is, that
56.
That is scary.
Or is he older?
I think he's 56. I think you're right. Yeah,
he's scary.
He's looking really scary.
The power.
Yeah,
and I know everyone's saying, "Oh, well, Jake Paul has the youth on his side," and but he just. Yeah, I know who. If you said right, you've got to fight one of them two. I know I'll be picking hands down every single time.
Yeah,
Jake Paul.
Yeah, 100. I can fancy my chances more against Jake Paul than
animal.
Tyson.
That's it.
I mean? He's just crazy, and I just think, that kind of, he used to be real aggressive, and that he was known for just being like an animal. I reckon as soon as he gets, he's really calmed down and mellowed out now.
Yeah.
I reckon when he gets in there and takes one on the chin. That'll be it. It'll just unlock him.
Yeah.
I think he'll just be released, and then that's
a good point, actually.
That's when Jake Paul's dead. For so long he hasn't had someone hit him in the face, and he's calmed down. And he's really mellowed out, and you see him on these podcasts, and he's always high and chilled and real nice. But no one's been punching him in the head.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
he's going to get in a ring, and someone's going to be trying to knock him out, and I think that'll really just. Right, here's old Mike.
I think I've seen him in sparring, and then they say like, "Oh, that's it for the day," and he's like, "Are you sure, coach? Are you sure?"
Yeah.
What about cage fighting, UFC? Have you do you watch any of that sort of thing at all, or are you more? If you was to pick one, you'd probably pick watching the boxing over the UFC.
I find I always watch clips online when they come up, like the whole Conor McGregor story. I think it's pretty cool, and him as a character, I kind of find he's like quite funny, and some of the things he says, and his confidence is on that borderline arrogance, which it works for him. It's what's built him as a character and a fighter, and he's an entertainer, and it is entertaining to watch.
That's it. Yeah.
I love that line where he's like, I don't know, is it maybe Chandler, maybe. And he's saying, taking a mick out what Conor McGregor's wearing, and he says you look like an overage skateboarder.
The Uriah Faber one.
That clip always makes me laugh because he does look like
exactly like that.
He's too quick-witted, isn't he?
Very quick-witted. Yeah, but actually knowing the fighters and about knowledge is next to nothing. But I know the big names through what they've done and the funny things they've done and the clips that come out about them. So. That's as far as my real knowledge goes. I could watch it if it was on, but I don't think I've ever paid to watch a fight or anything like that. I'm not. That's not as far as I go in, but I would watch it if it was on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's
been a good one. I've enjoyed that a lot.
I have. Yeah, that was a fire episode. It was nice getting a bit of insight on things you don't know. You know what I mean, Max? It's a pleasure having you on. We're definitely going to have to run this one back maybe early into the next year if you're wanting to.
Yeah, of course. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so. Oh, there we go. Day 2 wrapped up. We've got a long way to go. Another 22 episodes. We hope you have a fantastic Christmas, Max.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Cheers for coming on.
Much.
You can check us out. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere. You can listen to this on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, where we have a range of episodes, over 220 to listen to. And also a new episode every day for the month of December. I've been Juve.
I've been Bowles.
I've been Max.
You can follow Max at
just Max Searby on Instagram. That's where the majority I post most of my stuff on there, so make sure you drop me a follow. It would be much appreciated.
Perfect.
100%.
Get at it. Again, code Max at Bees Farm if you want any of the best supplement ranges right there. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. See you soon. Nice one, brother. That was a fire episode.
Enjoyed that. Get a pick then.
Yeah, I will, yeah.
Picky.